State of Decay 2 probably has some of the most unique zombies in all of gaming, but overall, they're all going to be dangerous to some degree. Today, I'm going to be ranking them by how dangerous they are in a tier list. If you have any thoughts about how dangerous some of the other zombies in this game are, I'd love to hear your perspective, rather than, just me sharing my own. Anyways, I'll quit yapping and get to the tier list. Alright, first up we got the most basic one, just the plain old normal zombie. This one isn't really that dangerous overall. Even if you're going against, a fairly decent group of them, you're not gonna have too much trouble if you know what you're doing. So I'm gonna put him in the least dangerous tier here, F. But the plague zombie, on the other hand, it's practically the same thing. It does a bit more damage, and it makes your plague infection meter a little higher, and unlike the normal zombie, which doesn't do it at all. I'm probably gonna put it in F tier too. It's really not that bad. Here we got the blood feral. No, it's going into S tier. It's the most dangerous zombie in the entire game. It's an absolute demon, and yeah. For those of you who don't play lethal difficulty, which is the only way you can go against this absolute monster, it takes 2 to 3 headshots, depending on, what gun you're using, to kill, because it has some plague armor on its head, and it's a pain to get down. Plague Juggernaut. I'd say the Feral's worse, but it still goes in S tier. It's not a fun one. You definitely need a lot of firepower to take it down. It has more health, it's just the Feral's more pain because it's faster, and yeah. The normal Juggernaut, on the other hand, this guy sucks, but oh god, I haven't gone against one in so long since all I play is lethal now. But no, a Juggernaut's a pain, even if you're an experienced player. Yeah. The normal bloater. This guy, he's a little goober, he's not a tricky one. The gas doesn't even do a ton of damage. The only real issue is if you're fighting zombies and it slows you down and you take some damage, but it's really not that bad. Screamer. The Screamer's only worse in higher difficulties of the game, because then you're gonna get a lot more bad zombies like these guys up here attracted over to you. But he's really not that bad. You don't get hurt by him. It's just brings a couple of guys over to you. The normal feral. I'd say this goes in A tier too. It's still a one-shot headshot kill for this guy if you're using a gun. But, he's not horrible like the blood feral. But he's still pretty bad, so I'd say A tier for danger level is pretty accurate. Plague Screamer. So these, I know they're lethal. I don't know if they're in Nightmare, and I don't know about Dread. But they can actually spray plague juice on you, and that's not really the nicest thing in the world. And that slows you down a bit, because your character's kind of trying to recuperate for a bit there. But, I kind of want to give it B tier, honestly. Yeah, it kind of hurts to see Juggernaut and Feral in A tier, and then Plague Screamer, in B. And I'd honestly say Plague Bloater is here too, because there's not really a gap between how bad a Juggernaut and a Feral is than a Plague Screamer and a Plague Bloater. But the reason I put Plague Bloater there is going to be because it, actually increases your plague meter up and can get you infected with the blood plague. But unlike the normal bloater over here, which doesn't really do that. So the plague bloater is going to do more damage. It's just going to be more of a pain to deal with. But I hope this was a good tier list. It's not exactly the most interesting or riveting video, but hey, I thought it was going to be interesting to make. And it was fun to make too, so I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed this whole boring video, but hey, yeah.